Morning! Option number 2 today, because option number 1 was a swampy mess that I nearly lost my van in. So, here we are, we're on the river. It's raining, so what surprise there. And from about 3 o'clock onwards we're scheduled to have 50-mile-an-hour winds. So that's going to be fun. However, we're on the bank, we're fishing, life is good. Let's see how we get on today, shall we? Woohoo! More rain! Oh, what a day. Still, I've got the brew on. 4 rods in. I've been sent some of these things. They're like a pop-up stick. That one's away now. This is the second one. It's made by Gray's Prowler. Now, Gray's Prowlers went bust, I think. So I don't even know if you can get them anymore. But I was talking to people about using like pop-ups, using like a balsa wood insert. And one of the fellas that I fished with in England years and years ago, he goes, I have some of these Gray's things, I've never used them, I don't know what they're like, blah blah blah, here you are, and he posted them to me. So, Big George, thanks very much, mate. Unfortunately, Big George has stopped angling. He's kind of packed it in. He used to do a lot of barbel fishing and pike fishing in the winter, but he's on his way to Saudi Arabia to live now for a little while. So good luck in Saudi, mate. I know your 6-foot attractive blonde missus is going to love Saudi Arabia. It's one of the jokes that we were having. Last time I was in the third world, I mean the Middle East, there was a rather attractive army captain standing beside me. Really nice girl, cracking girl. And the Kuwaitis were very hands-on. They didn't think twice about walking up and copping a feel. To the point where this woman was shrieking and crying. And basically standing beside me saying, you know, help. Total different culture to what we have here in the West. So it was, the one thing that seemed to understand was intimidation and strength. So with this woman standing beside me, even though she was a higher rank than me, you know, they wouldn't listen to her or let her even speak. You know, they would come to me and, you know, ask for my woman, even though she wasn't my woman, she was actually a lesbian. But that doesn't make a difference. It's the fact that it makes me giggle that in the West the feminists scream about this rape culture shit. There isn't such a thing as rape culture. Rapists in the UK get arrested and go to jail, whereupon they are a plaything for everyone in the jail because everyone hates rapists, and rightly so. You know, it kind of makes me chuckle. But they kind of back off when they're standing, when this chick was standing beside me. Now I haven't kept in touch with her. I don't think she's in the army anymore. But no, don't get me wrong. In fact, I'm struggling even to remember her name. But it was an incident that happened in 2002, about November 2002. In a place called the Shark Centre in Kuwait City. Big, massive shopping centre in the middle of Kuwait. I don't even know if it still exists anymore, but it existed then. Speaking of the crazy feminists of the West, Burger King, they broke the internet by putting out a tweet saying, on International Women's Day, women belong in the kitchen. Now, I don't get Burger King. During like the EU elections before Brexit, Burger King posted about come and get your milkshakes here, because the leftists, they would chuck milkshakes over people like Nigel Farage, you know, or any sort of people that they disagreed with, because political violence is acceptable these days, isn't it? So they would chuck milkshakes. So Burger King kind of said, you know, come and get our milkshakes and chuck them, which kind of pandered to one side, and then they're kind of saying stuff that I guess kind of upsets that side. You know, I genuinely don't give a shit what Burger King says, but I found it amusing that they posted on International Women's Day, women belong in the kitchen. You know, what a thing to come out and say in this day and age. Of course they try to say that it's because only such a tiny percentage of the professional chefs in the world are female, and this is all about getting more females into cooking and all that nonsense. You know, but I found it amusing, the absolute lunacy, the absolute screeching that went on Twitter. Twitter's usually a cesspit. I can't really stand Twitter. Since my main account was banned, I kind of don't really go on it that much. I have a backup account that's just for this channel. You know, it just posts about the fishing. Links are in below if you want to follow it on Twitter. You know, it's like on that Twitter there's mostly fishing, mostly bycatches of like what I've caught, links to videos, and then there's the odd bit like welcoming, like congratulating Glasgow Rangers for winning 55 titles. That made me a very happy Rangers fan. But I kind of spread out on all the different media channels. I mean, I'm on BitChute, although I don't really post that much to BitChute. I'm on Parler, and I know some of my friends that are kind of slightly left-leaning, they think Parler is just a place for super Nazis. But I'm on Parler, and everything I post to Twitter goes directly to Parler anyway. So it's like it's just another social media thing. And I have everyone's favourite Facebook. It's all the social media platforms for this channel are just to boost the the recognition for the channel. Like looking on the statistics at YouTube, you know, 70% of all the views I get come from people coming from Facebook. So when I share it on my Facebook and share it to a couple of the pages that I'm in, a lot of that traffic then comes to my channel. There's very little comes from WhatsApp or Twitter or Parler, but it's good to post all these things just to get the channel out there. It's like when I ask you guys to like and share the videos, and you guys share them on your own pages. That's amazing. Another thing I got asked as well, and this kind of knocked me for six, it really did, about supporting the channel. People were asking how can they support the channel, and my reaction was, well, you're already supporting the bloody channel. You've liked the video, you've left a thumbs up, you've commented, you've shared the video. You know, there's not much more you can do. And by the way, that's all. That is amazing that you guys have done, that you guys do that. But there was guys saying, you know, you should get a Parler, you should get a subscribe star, you should get whatever, so they can support the channel. So I set up a subscribe star. The link is below. I am not asking anyone to donate to it. I'm not asking anyone to go near it. If you feel like it, it's there. If not, then that's cool, guys. But I mean, I get asked like, you know, a couple of times a week about, is there a way that we can support the channel? So there is. That's it there. Again, I don't know if I would, part of me was thinking, I don't want to set this up because it feels like I'm scrounging, but I'm getting kind of asked and asked and asked and asked and asked, and I thought, well, okay then, fair enough. I'd make a subscribe star, completely voluntary. If you want to donate to it to help the channel, then crack on. Awesome, thank you very much. If you just want to share the videos, like them and leave a comment, that's all I ask for. You know, I'm not on here begging for your money. The only thing that I'd ask for is that you like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Looking at the statistics, there is only 40% of the people that watch my videos currently subscribe to the channel. So you 60% out there, come on, help me out. You know you want to. Anyway, that's the last of it. I've got asked as well, put my coffee down, directions on how to make an up trace. So I'm going to do that later on. I'm going to show you how I make an up trace, and you guys can take it from there. I also want to say, you know, to all the people that sent me comments about how sexual I looked as a teenager in the last video, you're all very bloody funny. None of us looked attractive when we were 14. We all looked awkward, gangly, and fucking had weird things going on. One of them things, I guess. But I'm going to finish my coffee, then I'll show you how to make an up trace, and hopefully, touching wood, somewhere in between today's video, a fish might fucking turn up. Taking part in this 20 metres of march. It's a bit of a friendly competition that one of the subscribers to my channel, Young Raven, set up. Raven and her dad. They're a channel called Bivvied Up. If you've got spare 5 minutes, go over and check out Bivvied Up. I'll leave the link in the description. I'll pin a comment. It'll be the first comment. You want to go over and give Raven a bit of a thumbs up. It's important that we encourage youngsters into fishing, and it's cracking to see Young Raven and her dad getting out fishing. I really enjoy their videos. But let me get my cup of coffee because I need to wake up. It's just gone like 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm still half asleep. So I'll see you soon.
A few moments later.
Magic, just had a run there. If you don't know if you can see it over there, it's a big fucking cormorant. It's had a go at the belly and the head. Just look at the gorge and the head of it. So, cormorant. Let's get this cast back out again, shall we? I was thinking that's the mother of all runs. Really ripped off. Let's get this bad boy put out again. We're not fishing too far out. Just kind of fishing there in the middle of the stream. And that's us on the bottom. It's quite deep here. Obviously not deep enough to stop the fucking cormorants. Oh! Back to finish my cup of tea. Okay. So, I've been asked to show you guys how I make my up traces for float fishing. Now I get some questions with reference to the up traces. Whenever I'm putting a float out, I'm using like, you know, 60-pound braid to 100-pound braid. If I'm going to cast it out, I am doing everything in my responsibility, everything I'm capable of doing to make sure that it comes back. So my up traces for float fishing, the lead is fixed on the trace. Now I'm going to show you how I make it. I use 60-pound AFW bleeding leader, and I take about 2.5 feet of bleeding leader. You want it to be longer than your bait trace. You know, you want it to be longer than your bait trace. You don't want your bait trace to ever swim above your up trace, so you want it to be nice and long. Now, this is 60-pound AFW bleeding leader. For this, you will need a size 4 AFW crimp. All the crimps I get, they come from Eddie Turner. His shop is linked below. Great guy, absolute legend in the pike angling community. So, on one end of the trace, you want to have your normal swivel that you'll attach your line to. So your normal ball bearing swivel. On the other end, you want a swivel with a clip. So here we have a swivel with a clip. These are ball bearing swivels again. So you basically want, you know, a decent clip that's not going to clip out. I mean, that's a pretty beefy clip that's going to hold your trace. So this goes on first. So let's tie that on first. Now this is where the magic happens, so to speak. You want to make sure that you have quite a long tail. Tail of about maybe 2 inches. That'll become apparent why you want that now in a minute. So you fold it up like that. Then wrap it around the trace wire like that. Then the tag goes back through the swivel like so, and then this tag goes through there's a loop here, this little loop, this tag goes through the loop, so back out and around the loop, and you pull it tight. And for this you'll want your I'm just using a pair of crimping pliers to pull this tight. And there you go, that is connected nice and tight to your clip. Then you slide on your weight. This is a 1 ounce weight. Now you'll have a tag end. Slide the tag end into the weight as well, so that your weight is against your swivel and your tag end is out here. Now you crimp it. So take your crimp, come on, slide your crimp down, make sure the 2 ends go into your crimp like so, and then you crimp it shut. So that's it, crimped, shut. Then you can take your normal little rubber sleeve and put it over the top of that. So that's it, that's one end connected. There's one end of the up trace connected. So just let me get a rubber sleeve. I did have one sitting here somewhere. Little rubber sleeves. Still pissing with rain here, but hey ho, that's just Northern Ireland. So you have your little rubber sleeve, and it's going to go over your crimp. So that's how it looks on one end. You then take your rubber crimp, the rubber sleeve, and you slide it on so that the fat end is going to be covering the other crimp. So you take your thin end and thread it through first, like so. Get another crimp. slide the crimp on, and just push these down out of the way, so you don't really need them just right this second. Stay kettle, don't fall off. So then you take your ball bearing swivel. This one had some crud in it, so it wasn't quite ball bearing-y. Take your normal swivel, put it onto your wire. You only want a tag of about 1 inch long on this one. So you tag, bend it around, wrap it around the main trace wire, like so. Back through the eye. The wind's getting up. This is what's making the rods in the pod bleep. So it's back through the eye like so, and then back through the clip, or back through the little loop. So that it will look like that there. Then just pull it tight. And slide down your crimp and your rubber sleeve. If you can tuck the tag end into the crimp, then do that. If you can't, don't worry about it. Cut it down. Then you just crimp it. There you go. That's it crimped to the swivel. Should really have used a better swivel. And then you slide up your little rubber crimp cover. And that is one end. You have your weight on the other end, and you have your nice, secure, rock solid up trace. Hope that helps.
More moments later.
We're on. Alright. Oh no. This one's been damaged. I can see that the gills is broke on one side of it. So let's just bring it into here. And we will set the rod down. Calm down, son, calm down. That's how well it was hooked. The hooks had popped out in the net. I am not quite sure what the damage is in its jaw. It's sad that there's a... That's the better side, even though there's some scales missing on it. Let me just take a quick photo. Now let's turn her over to see the other side of her. This fish doesn't want to be photographed on that side, does it? Wrong with it there. However, it's feeding. That one took a whole mackerel, so let's get it back in the water. Sad that its gill's been ripped out. Very sad that its gill's been ripped out. So we jack. And there it goes. Not a blank! Woohoo! Today's cooking with Scobes is ready-made burgers. These are ready-made steak burgers. A local garage is doing them. You just have to heat them through. So they are perfect for the old ridge monkey. There's 2 in a packet. And it's like £3 for the 2 of them, so £1.50 per burger. Comes with your usual nasty cheese. So take your nasty cheese, put it on your burger. Then you put that into your ridge monkey. Ridge monkey. This is the mini, this is the normal ridge monkey. This is the very first one that they came out with. It's a tippy piece of crap, but it'll do for this thing. It doesn't quite close, but just heat it up through. It'll close eventually. And then it's a case of just flipping the burger, turning it round and round until it cooks and heats through. We're not talking Gordon Ramsay, Michelin chef stars here. We're talking, I'm hungry, so let's eat something quickly. Sorry, no steak this time. Also, why do people that don't like steak royal, and I like steak blue, that's just my preference. The amount of people that I've chatted to that kind of go, no, you may as well run out and bite a fucking cow. It's like, well, that's how I eat it. You might want to eat yours, however, I don't understand there was some interesting comments about the old steak. Can't help it, quite like blue steak, but what can I say? It's been an alright morning. You know, the wind at the minute's now going sideways that way. We are going to expect like 50-mile-an-hour winds today, so that's going to be fun. But we're fishing. I've got my cup of coffee there. I'm going to have I've already had 2 runs. One of them was a cormorant that picked up the mackerel. The second one was that small pike that you seen me catch. Unfortunately, it had some gill damage, Unfortunately, these things happen when it's bad handling that's caused that. It's poor handling. There's nothing in nature that would make them have an injury where their gills get tore out. That's from an angler. Either the hook has been, pulled out, ripped out, or, again, it's poor handling. It's never nice seeing it, unfortunately. But the fish was fat enough, it was healthy enough, it was still feeding. The gill raker itself was pink, which meant it's dead. So eventually the little disconnect from the top will just rot and fall off. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. But that fish, it seemed it was healthy enough. It had a 10-inch mackerel, so it was healthy enough. But when it comes to fish that suffer damage like that, if the fish can't feed, it dies. And that fish at this time of the year, a bigger pike, will happily eat that. It really is, dog eat dog down there. I mean, the biggest controller of pike numbers is pike itself. We keep trying to tell the trout guys that, but oh well. Not going to complain about the trout guys. Not going to complain at all about them. The river's actually very low, so they've lowered the level of the water down an awful lot. So they must be expecting in the forecast a lot of rain to come. But not much I can do about that. So I'm going to eat my burger, drink my coffee, and if anything happens in the meantime, I'll be sure to let you know. Not exactly McDonald's on the bank, is it? But it's okay. Well done.
20 minutes later.
I got some leads specifically made for the river. Remember how the last time I fished to the leads, the 5-ounce leads weren't holding the bottom, and I didn't have any, 6 and 7-ounce left. So I spoke to one of my friends, and he sorted me out with some leads. So really good grippy ones. Really good grippy ones. These are ET leads. I'll put a link in the description below to his Facebook page for everyone that's in this part of the world. This guy's leads are top quality. You can't beat the service. Well worth taking the 5 minutes to check out his site. So these are the gripper leads, but he does all sorts of leads. He even does ones that have a bit stuck to them, so you can dip them in goo and cast them out, so that there's scent on your leads. So it's just putting more scent on the ground. Looking forward to trying them out. They look pretty good. They would look actually really good for things like carp and tench as well. But the winds is getting quite a bit rougher. I'm looking up that way to the actual main body. There's actually, the river opens up a bit, and there's white horses coming down. I'm kind of off it a little bit, so I'm not getting the full brunt of the delightful winds. The bridge embankment shielding me, but it definitely does not look like a day that you'd want to be out on the big lock. You would have been able to surf it, let alone fish it. What a day. Welcome to pike fishing in Northern Ireland, eh?
Eventually.
Well, the 50 mile an hour winds, they're here. Oh, they're here. They seem to come in like gusts for like a couple of minutes, then kind of die down again. But it's okay. Still have the 4 rods in. I've got a cormorant diving in front of me. And it's picked up the baits now twice. Bloody pest of a thing. It just means that when the baits come back in, they're all slashed to hell. And I put them back out again. It's just working down from, it's just working at the bridge at the minute. Those things deserve to be on the general license so we can shoot them. The same as corvids, another pest. Oh, other stories, other news. I about shit my pants. I heard this almighty bang. I was like, what the fuck is that? A tree blew down in the field behind me. I swear it was like a gunshot going off. It was like boom, what the fuck? Just at the sort of point in time where you're kind of half dozing off in a chair. Just what you need, eh? Nature. Still only the one fish, but at least we're not on a blank. The weather forecast tells us that it's going to be like this all day with these like strong winds and rain. I was going to go out fishing on the Thursday, this is a Wednesday, but the weather forecast gives 50-mile-an-hour winds and hailstones. So Wednesday was the less painful of the 2 days, which is good. No one wants to sit out the whole day and getting a kicking from hailstones. That just puts a dampener in the whole day. Apart from that, not much has really happened. The cormorants are just over there now. So they started from the bridge up there, they've worked right the way in front of me, and they've popped up there. There is a lot of them on the Erne this winter. Everywhere I go there's lots of cormorants. But not an awful lot we can do about them. I think I might have another cup of coffee. And then maybe a wee 5-minute snooze. Yeah. Everyone needs a snooze. We've started watching these cormorants. There's actually 2 pairs of them. Magic, now there's 4 of them. But on the plus side, there's no jet skis. Which means I have to keep the spod rod in the van.
Later.
Well, just gone 7 o'clock. I stuck it out long enough. The wind is really kicking down now. It's ripped the, well, it was ripping the 12-inch bivvy pegs out of the ground. So, time to go home. What a day. Didn't blank, caught a pike. And I now have no cobwebs anywhere because trust me, they have well and truly been blown away. Just want to say thank you to everyone that's liking, sharing and subscribing to the channel. You guys are awesome. Until the next time, troops, tight lines.